Hey kids, you're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. Jacob and Aki are here, and we've got Tim hanging out. How's everyone doing?
Hey.
I'm good.
All right. Tim said hi, and everyone else is like,
I was expecting there to be more to that.
Yeah, some shit fell over next to me, so I was like trying to fix it.
What do you want me to say, Aki?
No, I meant when Tim was talking, I was expecting more than just hey. Since
more
you
to
asked
come after. Hey, well, yeah.
How our week was. I assumed they were going to say hey, and then continued with how their week was, and then nothing.
This is my third night of podcasting of the week. It's been too much podcasting. But I have a long weekend ahead.
Did you have Fat Gatsby this week too?
I did. Yeah, I recorded Triple Radio on Monday, live on Twitch. So you can follow X-Strike Studios there if you want alerts for when we do that. It's only once a month, not a bi or semi-weekly commitment like this jazz.
Like this bullshit.
Yeah. We talked about Tears of the Kingdom for like an hour.
Wow.
Which, there's a lot to talk about with that game.
I bought it. I got the collector's edition. I popped it in my system. I played it on the TV and realized that it looked kind of blurry and I was going to do it handheld, and then it's just been sitting on my desk.
No, I think it looks fine on the TV. Yeah, I got Steamed. I didn't and bought it digitally. I did like the voucher thing because it was $70. I was like, oh man, I can save money. Because I was just like mad because I could never get a hold of the special edition. And then of course, like the day it came out, like the special edition was like restocked here and there, and I was able to get one, and it's under my desk, and so I bought the game twice because I'm a fucking lunatic.
Don't feel bad. If I get those vouchers, I'll probably get it digital too. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitive convenience to having it. I'm not complete. It's a fucking Zelda. It's my favorite series of all time. Whatever.
I'm just scared to lose my games with the fucking Switch. They're so tiny.
Yeah, I worry about that because I have an 8-year-old who handles them sometimes, and he goes in the cabinet and he looks for a game sometimes and pulls it out and then sticks it in one of his cases, and then I'm just like, then the game case is out and the game card is somewhere, and I'm just like, oh god, because he just keeps it in his cases, and I go, but no, just put it back in the case and put it back on the shelf, please, so I know where it is. Like, they're very small. No, you can't take your Switch to school. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, but yeah, I'm at like, well, as of Tuesday, I was at 30 hours of Tears of the Kingdom. That was the day when everyone found out how much of a sicko they were, because the 10 days had passed. So that's when it tells you hours. Yeah, I had some single childless friends who were at like 60 hours and 45 hours.
That's impressive.
Friend of mine with child was at 40. I was like, okay. But then I found out another friend of mine was at like 80 hours, and he has 2 girls. And I'm like, okay, now I know who's neglecting their children. And it's you. Did you quit your job? Like, Jesus, like that's it. After 10 days, that's 8 hours a day of Tears of the Kingdom. Like, that is a full-time job of Tears of the Kingdom. Like doing overtime and not taking break. That's a bit much. I feel like I'm putting more than enough time into that. Well, no, I could put in more, but I'm putting in plenty of time.
Jacob, did you get Tears of the Kingdom?
No.
Are you planning to?
Like maybe at like a Christmas sale or something like that, but
yeah, good luck with that.
None of us ever sale.
Like, none of us ever like finished the first game, so nah.
Fine, more for me.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I'm just gonna buy more copies.
Yeah, just more. I already bought 2. Buy another one in your name.
There you go. Fair enough.
You don't get to play it. It's only a tribute.
I'm just waiting for that review code to come on in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure thing, buddy.
Be
Anyway,
right here, right
after-
before Final Fantasy 16 shows up.
Clearly, after today, Jacob is just saving his money for a PS5 because Sony had their press conference, and it's the general online reaction is pretty mixed.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
I
a
don't know,
lot
I
of
just see
people.
nothing but positive.
I've seen a lot of people disappointed in the show.
Oh, wow.
There's
Are
a
the
bunch of
people-
really cool stuff on it.
Yeah,
I don't know how much of it is exclusive.
I don't know what you want.
And how much just is coming out on it, and they're not listing it as an exclusive. But
Not much of it is exclusive.
I think
Oh,
the
thank
people who are
fuck.
disappointed are disappointed from a Sony stance of like, oh, there's no exclusives, but the games that they showed off are fantastic.
Sure. I guess that's fine. Like if what you're looking for, is online argument bait, then sorry.
Yes.
But I'm just like, this is a bunch of exciting games on the way that work on a system that I own.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's get to this. They opened up the show with a new game from Haven Studios called Fair Games. This looks like a 3v3v3 payday. Yeah.
yeah, it's
okay,
Payday
that's
2,
why.
but versus and not really a game for me.
I'll just say, as soon as something looks like it's like a
Live service game.
yeah, if it's like a live service multiplayer PvP game, like I just immediately zone out. Like
I wasn't
so hard.
particularly big on Payday even, so I like the graphics of it, but I was just like, it's Payday 2. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a lot of games fighting for online live service market share. And it's rare that one really jumps out at me.
I think we've seen too many live service games during this conference.
Yeah,
We've
but
seen too many in general.
Well,
Yeah.
we just started, and one is too many. So,
yeah.
uh,
Just already not interested in this. All
Yeah.
right, let's see if there's any others later on.
well, thankfully, after that, they showed off Helldivers 2, which is releasing sometime this year on PS5 and PC.
I didn't even know
Helldivers
there
is
was
dope.
a first one. I didn't know
Yeah,
there was
I've heard the
first
name.
one.
I didn't realize there was a first one that had been out long enough for a sequel to come into existence. But yeah, that game's been out since 2015.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited because I do like Starship Troopers.
I know, right?
But-
That was definitely some like legally distinct Starship Troopers shit right there, was it not? My God.
This is a great trailer, though.
Yeah, it looks totally like the propaganda you'd expect to see in that franchise too. I was like, I'm kind of for this.
Well, Aki, you'll be disappointed. It is published by Sony, so it won't be coming to Xbox.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Of course.
A lot of games during the conference are coming to Xbox, though, which is good. I like seeing games that are hitting everything. I hope we see a lot of that during Summer Game Fest this year. The next game they showed off was Immortals of Avium by Ascendant Studios and EA. It's going to be coming July 20th.
I'm intrigued by it, but to me it just seems like Destiny, but instead of a gun, you shoot things with your hands.
Maybe.
I'm not sure where I sit on that. It looks pretty, and it seems like it could be interesting, but I was never really into Destiny, so I'm just not sure.
Avium. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't tickle my fancy. They must have shown this game before, right? It's coming
Yes.
out in July.
Yeah. Yeah,
This one I'm
used
pretty
my
sure is
brain at
coming to
some point.
Xbox as well.
I believe it is, yeah. There was a lot of
Yes, this
stuff
is
that they showed off that we
multi-platform.
knew about, which is
Yeah.
kind of disappointing. And
Nah.
Yeah, because this one was, I'm pretty sure, on the Xbox showcase or whatever they have, like, a long time ago as, oh, this is something we're making, like, over a year ago or something.
Oh, it was first announced at the Game Awards. Back in December. I never mind like seeing things that are coming out soon. It's nice to balance out the things that are coming out later. My child at a certain point was simply cheering games that had a 2023 release date that he had no investment in because he was annoyed by things that were 2024. So, it's always good to be like, hey, by the way, there's games that are coming out soon.
yeah.
And there's more of that coming up here soon too.
Indeed. Ghost Runner 2, something no one really knew about, coming this year from 505.
It looks so good. I don't know if I'd ever be able to play one of those games, but they look so fucking cool.
Yeah, I reviewed that game.
Fast and crazy.
It's very, very quick game.
And in this one,
Relatively-
you get a motorcycle, so that's even faster and even cooler to me.
Ghost Runner 1, that only came out. Holy shit, that was a few years ago. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ooh, it was 2020, so that's why I feel like that came out in like 2021. No, it's a year closer than I thought. Yeah, no, it looks slick. So I imagine if people enjoyed that first one, they're going to enjoy this one a lot more.
After that, they showed off a new game called Phantom Blade Zero, a samurai-looking game from S-Game. No release date was revealed. I don't know much about this. Like, it looks good. It looks really good. I thought it was Ghost of Tsushima 2 for a second.
You know, I think I thought that it was... Did they
That's terrible.
show... I think I got it conflated with Wolong, which already came out.
It very much reminded me of that game when I was looking at this trailer. It's like, oh, it is like Wolong Dynasty. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
because I think they showed that game at one of the events last year, and I was like, oh, this looks like Sekiro stuff. And then, like, this trailer started, I'm like, oh, it's that game that's like Sekiro. And then I'm like, wait, this is a different one.
And it looks to be very much the same style. It still looks like it's going to be one of those really hard Soulsborne-y type assassinate people that are weak and then have really hard boss fights type games.
Yeah, I had some of that
Looking
stuff.
forward to something I'll never be able to beat.
Going on. I'm trying to see if there's a platform that isn't just PlayStation 5, but it doesn't say. So
yeah, I didn't hear anything about that one hitting anything else.
Did look nice. Did look nice. There
Great
seems
visual
like
style too.
Seems like there's a lot going on in that space of making games in that particular era in the past few years, and clearly they're already mushing together in my brain, for better or worse.
Next up in the show was a game called Swords of the Sea from the makers of Abzu, Journey, The Pathless. It's a brand new game where you're on a sandboard, and it looks very Journey. It looks like all three of the games have just been mashed together.
Yeah, there's like pieces from all of them. They got the like sand surfing from that everybody loved from Journey. I mean, when it started up, I was like, oh, this looks like Journey. There's some Journey-ass sand right there.
Yeah, all their games are very pretty, and this one looks very pretty as well. Yeah,
I'm very interested in this. I still haven't played The Pathless. I feel I need to do that at some point. But I, like Journey, like Abzu, this just the mechanic of surfing around on the sand is fun, and was fun in Journey, and it's something I can easily see building a whole game out of. Looks like you're going to be traversing kind of a open-ish world to explore and stuff. Only confirmed for PS5 and PC at the moment. Did Abzu come out on Xbox?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay.
It did? I thought that was one of them that didn't.
Nope. Abzu made it to Xbox. Pathless made it to Xbox. It took a while, but it seems
this probably will be eventually on Xbox.
Yeah, Giant Squid seems to start with one platform and then slowly roll it out to others, probably because they're a smaller team.
Yeah, got to get some of that cheddar.
Group here saying music by Austin Wintory, so that's good.
Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah, shocker. Talos Principle 2 is coming.
Fuck yes.
That was a shocker. I had no clue that was in the works.
I had heard that was in the works. But seeing it in some kind of tangible form made me excited, because that first game ruled. I feel like that was something I played early on when I got my PC built.
Yeah, it came out on PC a long time ago.
Yeah,
came to consoles a while back, but not super long ago. And I'm kind of looking forward to this, but I also can never play these one. I couldn't play the first one on either on the console or on PC for very long, because for some reason playing that game hurt my eyes really bad. But man, the puzzle mechanics in it are so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's scratched the itch like Portal did, at least puzzle wise. It is not a funny game, but it does have an interesting story. By the way, Joe, if we get a code for this one, just talk to your boy. I am your boy.
I concede he can have the code if it comes.
It is being published by Devolver too, so that they're usually good to us with getting codes. So
yeah,
but that is something. If you have not played the Talos Principle 1, buy it. I'm giving that game a buy it and play it. That game rules.
2 is coming out this year, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
A 2023 release.
Yay.
Yeah.
Neva, a game about a big dog reindeer thing companion, and then it gets murdered, and then there's a mini dog.
Made my child cry.
It's made from the same people who did Gree, which I really liked, and it reminds me a lot of Princess Mononoke, so I really
was
want
getting
this
that vibe.
so bad.
Yeah, I gotta play Gree still, but
it's so good, and it's nice and short. Go play it.
I'll have to buy. It's always a little bit on sale on the eShop. I do have to get that and play it. So I got an email from Devolver today with highlighting some of the announcements, and they said of this trailer, this trailer will ruin your day, but you should watch it anyway. Yeah, it'll make you sad, but looks cool.
Yeah, that trailer was an emotional roller coaster.
By the way, this is also Devolver joke. No, it's okay. I'll get this one, but if Aki doesn't want it for some reason.
If Neva comes in, I'm taking that.
This is on all of the this is on everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Something else that'll be on everything. I was very excited about this one that was announced. Cat Quest Pirates of the Caribbean. We go from dogs to cats, and they're both coming out in 24.
Yeah, that made my child mad because he really liked the look of this game. But then I said, good news, kid. There's other Cat Quest games.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to get one of those in front of him to play.
They're good stuff. I like them.
I've never played one.
Yeah, me neither.
It makes sense you would like it, Joe. Cats. Of course you like it.
I like the look of the overworld, walking around in there. It has a cool style to it. Caught my eye. Made me think. The Cat Patrol. The Cat Patrol City. Oh dear.
So many cat puns in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It is unbearable. Next up was Foam Star.
Gotcha.
Sony's version of Splatoon. Yippee.
Square's version of Splatoon.
Well, still not as. It just doesn't look anywhere near as good as Splatoon.
Hey, you know what? My child was super into it. I said that to Joe earlier today or yesterday or something because he was saying that game looks like crap. I'm like, man, my kid loves Splatoon.
I think it looks like it's going to be DOA, honestly. I don't have any high hopes for this one. The bubbles, if they do some cool physics stuff with the bubbles, it could be something interesting. But if it's just Splatoon with less cool characters and a more bland style, then I'd rather play Splatoon.
Yeah, probably. The game, he'll probably, people are hoping that it's cheap and not an expensive release. Servers will probably get shut down within 18 months.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're optimistic. The Plucky Squires, a game where you fight inside and outside of a book. It's coming
okay, Joe.
this year.
Yeah, when this one, if we get a code for this one, talk to you, boy. No, I've had my eye on this. I feel like it was on some other showcase. Maybe it was at the Game Awards or some shit.
I don't remember seeing this one, but it was
I've
pretty
seen
awesome.
It somewhere. Yeah, it's just the popping out of the storybook into the world. Looks cool.
I missed this one, and I don't know how. I literally watched the entire thing right before the show. I missed this one.
Were you building gunplay at the same time?
No, I was taking notes at the same time and arguing with my dog.
Your dog probably.
Yeah, it's got little 2D overhead adventure bits in a storybook, and then you're you pop out of that, and there's a 3D. It becomes a 3D adventure game as you're going around the bedroom.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's got a neat style to it. I just hope everything. Yeah,
hope it plays well.
Visually, it's got it going on for sure.
Yeah.
It does some really cool stuff, and it has you going 2D on the sides of things in the bedroom, which gave me the vibe of those bits in Mario Odyssey where you go back to being 2D Mario on something.
Oh, nifty!
Yeah, that one.
Look up that trailer, cool. Plucky Squire. That's coming to everything as well.
Indeed,
this year.
Another one hitting multi-platforms is Teardown, a game where you get to customize things and blow it all up.
It's an interesting premise, but. Is it just going to be a sandbox where you just make things and destroy them?
Who knows?
Or is there actually
we'll find out more in the future, I'm sure, but it's very sandboxy, very destructive heavy. It gave me When I was watching the trailer, I was like, this reminds me of Red Faction Guerrilla, of just destroying shit.
I mean, it came out on PC a year ago.
Did it?
Yep.
Nice. Have you played it?
No.
It reminded me of Minecraft. And
I knew it was
Roblox.
old. Yeah. I knew that it had been out. I had definitely heard something about it. So yeah, it was.
It's coming to PlayStation and Xbox, so that's good.
It is is overwhelmingly positive on Steam with 65,000 reviews. So
wow.
Yeah, it's a deal with it coming over to consoles for sure.
Next up was the first pretty big jaw dropper of the day with Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater.
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear
Solid Snake Eater is back.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake
Yeah.
Eater?
Yeah.
Or Triangle.
No,
I believe it's
Delta.
It's Delta, Joseph.
No, it's Triangle.
Is this just going to be a PlayStation exclusive, or is this coming to both?
It's hitting Xbox.
Yeah,
I want this so bad. This is mine. This is so mine. I fucking love that game. That's my favorite one.
Oh yeah, this is like one of my top 10 favorite games of all time is Snake Eater. I freaking love this game.
Yeah, I got the HD collection, and this was the one that really got me into Metal Gear Solid was Snake Eater. I was like, oh, if all the games from this point forward play like this, I'm gonna love them. And obviously not, but the rest of them were still fairly good.
Yeah, no, it's the best one of the series in terms of just everything with like the drama of the story and the options in the gameplay. The who's it
for this?
The original voice cast is going to be coming back for this if they're not just using the initial recording. So yeah, it is David Hayter back on Snake.
Yay!
I am so fucking just psyched for this.
So that's very exciting. I don't think there's any kind of a date for that.
No release date was given for that, but they did give an autumn release date for Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1.
Volume 1?
Yes.
This includes
Metal Gear, I believe Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3. All in their original versions with minimal edits.
Yeah, that's cool because they are not currently playable on modern consoles, I don't believe.
Yeah, if this stuff, if they finally bring 4 to an Xbox console, I'm gonna be so fucking hyped. I've wanted to play that one for forever.
The sad thing is there are rumors that Volume 2 is happening and that it's not including 4.
God,
Peace Walker,
fucking
Portable Ops, and some other stuff, but maybe
4 is tough. That's the tough one, I guess, to get on anything because it requires a lot of work.
Yeah.
Man, that just makes me so sad because that's the only one I've never been able to see, and I want that so bad because all I know is it has a bunch of ladies in skin tight outfits, and I want that. Hey, we all have our priorities. I just know the correct ones. All right, fuck off.
Anyway, Towers of Agaspa, I don't know. A Civ builder.
Agaspa.
Aghaspa.
This one isn't just a city builder. It also has a lot of, action, and even looks like it has a lot of Shadow of the Colossus-esque type battles in it too, maybe. I'm intrigued by this.
This is wild. I don't remember shit about seeing that.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it either.
It looks like kind of skimming the trailer now, though. It looks really cool. Like
the only part of it I don't like is the city builder part.
Like a paragliding onto a creature and plucking barnacles off of its back. Like might have something going on here. That looks neat. Sure. Yeah. All right.
I just don't care about city building. So hopefully that's
if they remove this, I would absolutely be like, I want this game so bad. But the city builder aspect's the only thing where I'm like, I don't know. It depends on how heavy that is.
It does depend on how heavy that is, because I do like a town building mechanic, but I don't want it to be like the main thing that I'm doing.
Yeah, the only time I ever liked city building was Dark Cloud 1 and 2.
Hell yeah, it's great in there.
That was it. I was like, anything but these two games can go fuck itself.
This one's not. Is this one also coming to Xbox?
Don't know about that one. I'm not sure.
It's not on. It's next year. Oh, it's on. It has a Steam page. It was not on like Xbox on Twitter. Posted the thing with like all the games that are coming to Xbox as well, and it's not on them. So
that might be an exclusive, but.
Yeah.
Anyway, next game they showed off, I thought was one of the first wastes of time of the event with Final Fantasy 16. It's out in a month. Why? Why did they dedicate so much time to a game that's out in a month? We know about it.
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care because they're not bringing it to Xbox, so they can go eat a dick and die.
Just a reminder, maybe. I don't know. Maybe just part of their deal with Square. They just got to dedicate some time to it and all their stuff to promote it.
Maybe.
That had a lot of fucking time put to it, though.
Quite a bit of time put to it, though. I
very unnecessary.
I looked away. I don't need to see any more about this game right now at all. I know that like it is pre-ordered. It is yeah. It is, yeah. I don't need to see anything else about this. I haven't really looked at anything about this game in like a year. Yeah. Whenever the last time they showed it was, like anything else they've been putting out, I'm like, nope, I'm good. Just
the only thing you ever needed to know is that your main character turns into one of the summoned beasts. That's it. That's all that matters. There you go. It's Final Fantasy, and your person turns into summoned beast.
Something matters that wasn't a scantily clad female.
It's weird. Who are you? What have you done with Aki?
I'm sure one of them turns into Shiva. I'm just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.
I hope it's a set of really attractive twins.
Jesus.
Anyway, next game they showed off was Alan Wake 2.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
A lot of gameplay with this one.
Hyped.
This one looks incredible. It's coming out October 17th. It's going to have a deluxe edition with some DLC with it. The big thing that is surprising everybody, this is digital only.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I was a little surprised by that, to be honest. Like, I mean, you'd figure, does a collector's edition have a physical?
I don't think there is a collector's edition.
Oh, I thought you said that there was. My bad.
Oh.
No, there's a special edition that's going to have the DLC, like a gold version.
Oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't shock me that this is going digital only. Lots of companies have been trying to push that for a while, and smaller dev places tend to do it.
Keeping it digital only is keeping it a $60 game instead of a $70 game. THQ Nordic was quick to tweet at Epic, and it's like, hey, we released the first one on PC. Maybe we could work something out for this one too. So their hope is not gone if you're a physical collector, but who knows?
I want this so bad. I just don't even care. I've been waiting for Alan Wake 2 for fucking ever. I want this.
It's very exciting.
Just hook this directly into my veins, yo. Just give me it, please.
That's coming out October 17th. Coming out October 12th is Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Yeah. And it's heading back towards the original style gameplay. I'm so fucking hyped for this too.
Kind of annoyed these two are a week apart.
I know. Why are they so close?
I'm fine with it. I can probably beat one in a week and then start on the other one.
This autumn's going to be nuts. I have a feeling.
I will no life these bitches.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm also excited for a classic style Assassin's Creed game. I enjoyed, I didn't really love Origins. I kind of just stopped playing it.
The movement to the new style. I understand.
Yeah. I played Odyssey for like 5 minutes. I played like 30 hours of Valhalla. I really enjoyed Valhalla, but there's so much to fucking do, and it's not the same
Odyssey,
as the old ones.
I played a lot of Odyssey.
So,
I've 100%ed Origins and Odyssey. I liked them both, but it took some time to get into Origins because I missed the old style. So
yeah, I am excited to see kind of how this will go. This throwback old school Assassin's Creed.
Oh, another good thing for you, since both of y'all are annoyed that they're coming out so close. This one's going to be shorter. Keep that in mind. They actually stated that this was going to be like a 40-ish hour game instead of the usual 80 to 120-ish hour games. So 10 hours a day and you can finish it in under a week. You'll be fine.
Okay, I'll just quit
Just
my job.
Because so many of us, many of us can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Don't Sleep. It's called Lots of Caffeine.
Yeah. Like this.
Don't Sleep. That's a No Doubt song.
Oh
right?
my God, my dog farted. The 30 hours I've bombed into Tears of the Kingdom, like in the last 12 days, that is not normal. And it only happens because the game is on Switch and I can play it, off
Everywhere.
TV and away from the house. Like for a game that I'm playing on the TV, like, yeah, we'll see. But when Final Fantasy 16 comes out, I have the entire following week off. So
Nice.
Planned ahead.
yeah.
Revenant Hill is a game about a black cat made by Finji. I don't know anything else.
And it might
but
only go to one direction. Who knows?
Well, this is the follow up from not like a sequel, but it's the follow up from the Night in the Woods developers.
Yeah.
I recognized the look of the cat, and I was like, okay. I have not played Night in the Woods yet. I've heard good things about it. I own it on multiple platforms, I believe. So at some point, I just got to sit down and play it, and then maybe I can be excited for Revenant Hill. But before then, I'm just kind of like, yeah, that looks cool. I got to play your other stuff first.
Something I thought looked pretty cool was Grand Blue Fantasy.
I haven't played Grand Blue.
I'm kind of interested. I'm not sure if this is going to end up being an MMO or if this is a single player game.
I can almost guarantee it's not coming to Xbox.
That doesn't shock me. Makes me sad because it looks really good.
Yeah. Something that is coming to Xbox and possibly the second waste of time of the show. Street Fighter 6. It's out next week.
Hype that stuff.
Oh, that's what number it was. Here, I just said Street Fighter number.
I'm excited for Street Fighter 6, but it's out in a week.
Yeah, that didn't take that much time though.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's another fucking Street Fighter.
I gotta see if that.
Cammy's cute. I don't know what the fuck they did to Juri Han's face, but otherwise
nobody's looking at Juri's face. Everyone's looking at her feet. Come on.
No, I'm not in. I have no foot fetish. I always thought she was cute, and that just makes me sad that they fucked up her face. I don't know what the fuck they did to it, but I don't like it. I'm like, no.
Like I said, it's all the feet. That's how they introduced her. Like in her trailer, It was like pan from bare feet up. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Even her introduction to this was kicking some dude in the face. So God,
slightly different.
It makes me sad because she's so much more than her nasty fucking feet.
I played
We're gonna
a
get
bit of
angry
the
letters from foot fetishes next week.
That's fine. I don't have to read
I played a bit of the beta last week, and I really liked it. So I'm excited about this, and I'm feeling very stuck because I can't get it on PS5 because then I'll be competing with my wife playing Diablo. So I think I'm just gonna have to make sure it runs well enough on the PC so I can play it. Don't shake your head at me, Tess. Incidentally, though, it seemed like most of the people that were playing the beta were on PC because I tried to filter by not crossplay, and there was very few options. So I feel like most people are playing this. At least most people playing the beta were on PC, or at least not PlayStation, or maybe that feature just wasn't really working. I don't fucking know.
Who knows? Crossplay's still early, so
yeah.
Next up was a psychedelic-looking platformer called Ultros, which has nothing to do with Final Fantasy VI, and I'm disappointed.
I know. Weird. I had to double think to be like, wait, was there an octopus in this trailer?
I mean, it looks cool, but it's way too harsh on the eyes.
It is very abrasive.
I get that a lot too.
Yeah, it took a lot for me to just watch through the trailer. I had to pause it a number of times to make sure I wouldn't have a seizure just because there's so much color moving.
There's a lot of color. Yeah, it looks cool. Clearly Aki can't take it, but no, it looks I'm interested in this one.
After that was Tower of Fantasy. I don't remember much about this one.
It's another JRPG looking game. Might be an MMO, might be SP, really? Probably isn't coming to Xbox. Makes me sad.
Is this like an anime? Tower of Fantasy is a free-to-play open-world action RPG. It came out in 2021, so looks like a game that's already out on other things.
It looked cool. If it comes to Xbox, I'll play it.
If it comes to Xbox, you'll play anything on this press conference, Aki.
Not anything. There's actually a lot of stuff on here that I just don't care that much about.
Okay, Ultros.
No.
Some I'm excited for. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Let's go. Yeah.
Lots of gameplay on that one. No release date, though.
I never played the first one, so I don't know anything about this game.
You should play it was
you really should play the first one.
I think people have heard plenty from like the all the psychos that love the first one. It came out, it was over a decade ago at this point, and it didn't make like a big splash at first, but it is slowly but surely like gained like a very strong cult following. It is it's just a really interesting like action role playing game that had some cool ideas going on with it, and was just like a lot of fun to play. It came out, I remember it was like there's some awkward things about it, like the fast travel in particular, which is something I believe they patched later on. Anyways,
was this the one where like you were connected to a dragon or some shit?
Yes, I believe the dragon takes your heart or some shit, like right off the rip.
Something like that. I think I've watched videos on this on YouTube at some point.
Yeah, and there's like a different class system. It's got some like good action to it. It was a really cool game. And
all I know is there were some cute girls in the trailer, and that was enough for me. I was like, it's probably okay.
So yeah,
they know what they're marketing.
I think the sequel is coming at like just the right time when people are going to be all over it. I'll be all over this one for sure. Also coming to Xbox.
I hope
think people have been wanting that game for years now. So
yeah, like it didn't seem it was going to come to pass, but like there's been enough. That following just grew and grew and grew, and it must have been, doing well enough sales with re-releases and stuff. They're like, all right, let's do this. We found our audience eventually. Let's go.
Yeah.
A lot of climbing up monsters. Cool.
There's some big beasts in that trailer too.
Mm-hmm.
The one where he's hanging on to the dragon flying around up in the air.
That happens in the first game. That was cool. One of the cool things about the first game is just the way you'd fight monsters, climbing on them and flying around and like just...
that just makes the game sound a lot cooler.
Yeah, something I checked out on immediately was Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can play another...
care. Now on to the PSVR 2 games.
There you go. Oh, keep going.
Oh, no, there's some good stuff here. Resident Evil 4 VR is on the way.
Oh.
That looked insane. If I get Resident Evil 4 on PSVR 2, I might shit myself playing.
You could just wear Depends first. I mean,
borrow some of Ashley's. She would beat the shit out of me if she were here right now.
Oh! I thought you were about to say she would beat the shit out of you if you borrowed some of her Depends.
So did I.
Oh shit. Anyway, Arizona Sunshine 2 is coming to PSVR 2 later this year.
That looked really cool.
So Arizona Sunshine getting a sequel. That's awesome. They showed the next game, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, this looks like Crossfire X. Nope, it's Crossfire Sierra Squad. So, yeah, that's a thing.
Basically the same fucking thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Synapse, a psychedelic puzzle shooter, is coming to PSVR 2 July 4th.
That looked cool.
And then the one I'm excited about, Beat Saber, is out now for PSVR 2.
Cool.
So I am going to... Well, I fired it up during the conference, and I didn't see it on the store yet, so I'm going to fire it up tonight. And
I saw it on the PlayStation Store earlier, so it is out there.
Marathon, new game from Bungie.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks to be a 3v3 extraction shooter, which has a lot of people kind of annoyed that they're using the Marathon name for this.
Yeah, I was not pleased. Like,
I mean, the style of it looks cool, but you said
I'm
the words and I checked out.
It looks cool.
Yep.
But I really want to know how or if this is even like remotely tied in with the original series. Like, yeah,
it's probably not.
I'm very Aki, let me have my fantasies, please. Like, I'm not.
You're not.
I just like I don't think anything's good. Like anything good is going to come of this.
Oh, it's not.
But I'm I'm holding on to a little bit of hope that, you know, they haven't actually forgotten Marathon.
This is going to be something that's going to come out. People are going to play for a little while, and then it's going to die within like 2 years.
Yeah,
People
probably.
said the same about Destiny, and
I think
it's still
Marathon
going.
can go longer. Not. Don't say it.
Talking about
I
Destiny.
mean, it's 26
Destiny.
miles, so yeah, it would
Womp
go a
womp.
bit longer.
Okay, there you are.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, I think Marathon will catch. I think that will get longer than 18 months for sure.
The cool thing, the surprising thing, multi-platform.
Yeah.
I honestly expected Sony would have shut down the Xbox version of this when they bought Bungie.
I think you have to, for a multiplayer shooter game that's going to try to make traction in that, it has to be on everything. Like if you're going to have it be at a console exclusive, you might as well just fucking not even bother. You're
also,
not.
That was kind of the
player
point
base.
of buying Bungie. Part of the contract was they could do whatever the fuck they wanted,
Yeah. I just didn't think they
including
would.
sell on not PlayStation.
Yeah. They did show some Destiny 2 DLC, which, whatever.
It's more shit that no one cares
Absolutely
about.
whatever.
They showed a very brief preview of Concord, which
Well, things wiggle and wiggle, but that's all we know.
yeah, isn't that the one from like Fire Sprite or something?
I have no idea. All I remember was a bunch of shit shaking and a spaceship, and that's it. That's all it was. I don't know why.
A new
they
PvP
even announced
multiplayer
it.
FPS. Yeah, I checked out.
Yeah, check that. Jacob, I'm sure, would be into the next one. Gran Turismo the movie.
Oh,
The
that's
game.
what that racing
This
game was.
August.
I literally fast forwarded the video at this point.
Yeah, I
Wait,
just
hold
knew it
on,
was a
hold
racing
on.
game, and I checked out.
All right, so
No,
it
it's a
actually
movie.
is like
You know, it's the
okay,
movie.
no. I mean, yeah, I've
for
already
even
seen
less.
the trailer before. Yeah, I think it's going to be stupid, but I'm willing to be
looks
entertained
awful.
by it.
Looks awful.
Of
The only
course
thing
I
I'm
was
thinking there is shake and
stupid.
bake the St. Talladega Nights.
God.
Well, see, my thing is, I was really hoping you were about to tell me that there's going to be Gran Turismo the movie, the game.
There
Um,
will be.
I wish, like bringing back like the old Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not talk
we know
about
what you
that.
were referring to. Something
Maybe
we,
Aki didn't.
something we have to talk about. The PlayStation Q is a cloud-based handheld. Or no, not, is it cloud-based or remote play? Because I've been getting mixed messages on this.
I thought it just let you like stream from your console in your house.
Like
Yeah,
I've
it'll let
heard
you stream
mixed on
from your
this one.
console to any other device, basically. It seems that supports whatever their system is.
Well, it's a handheld. It's not to any other system. It's to a handheld.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a phone in a fucking set of controllers.
No,
Yeah.
that's a handheld.
Yeah.
Okay.
I interpret it as being like a Wii U controller for the PlayStation 5. So like, yeah, you can play on a screen, but like you can't leave your house.
Yeah.
It's over Wi-Fi via remote play.
How much do you think it's going to cost?
I mean,
Obscene
400.
amounts.
My guess is 300.
you know what? I'll say 200.
I'll go with Jacob because he said the highest number.
Well, I mean, it's just a screen.
I
to
think if they
receive the
want this
signal.
to sell, it's got to be under 150. I
I
think
don't
149
think it'll be that low.
is like the
By
high
what?
point.
By 150,
Maybe.
you mean
Okay,
$1.50,
all right.
or if they want it to sell, it's got to sell
No,
for
I-
$1.50.
No, I think 149 realistically is about the most I would see people willingly paying for this thing in mass. Because it's just a controller with a screen. It's nothing special.
Yeah. It's just receiving the signal, and yeah.
And they
But do
showed
you
off
expect
earbuds.
Sony fanboys to know the difference, though?
We'll see.
No, I don't.
I'm thinking 200
No.
though. That's I'm sticking with that. But
I'm sticking with 400 because that's the highest number.
all right. I mean,
And
if
well,
it was
Aki,
400, they
you
might
know,
as well
there
not
is
even
a number
bother.
called 401. That's an even higher.
I would go with that if you had
Okay,
listed
this isn't
that.
the Price is Right. Shut the fuck up.
$7.
Come on, I want to play Plinko.
PlayStation
play it.
earbuds were revealed because why not?
Don't give a
Sure,
fuck.
okay.
Moving on.
Those are going to be like $200.
No one cares.
And then finally, they showed off
All right,
a
let's go.
very extended gameplay sequence for Spider-Man 2.
That game looks so cool.
Yeah.
I would love that to be on Xbox.
It won't be.
Oh, I know. It
Never
makes
will
me so
be.
sad.
Neither will Wolverine, which they didn't show, which surprised me. I thought we would see something from that.
I didn't think we were going to see that.
I just can't wait until I get my new computer. Then I might be able to play the first 2 Spider-Man games, and I'll be happy.
Anyways, this game looks fucking awesome.
It was pretty sweet looking.
Pretty exciting. Like they haven't showed and talked very little about this game prior to yesterday, but it's just here's a symbiote suit Spider-Man doing stuff, and then you switch to Miles. You can slingshot off of things on the top of buildings and glide, and like the whole chase through down the river looked awesome. Like creeping around in the sewers after the lizard looked awesome. The game just looks awesome. This looks really good. They've clearly expanded the city to include Queens and not just Manhattan, so more territory. The game looks great.
Yeah,
At a certain point, I was like, okay, you can stop trying to sell me on this now. I am with you. You can just we can stop now. I'm good.
That's a long gameplay sequence.
It was lengthy. Yeah. I mean, they wanted it to end on like that story cliffhanger of like, no, that's not how Pete usually acts. But
I think the ending was kind of fell flat with that. If like that was their big, what's going to happen? There was no, one last thing. There was no big surprise at the end.
No.
We actually sat and watched the sizzle reel at the end and then a black screen for like 30 seconds before we realized there was nothing else.
Oh, I knew there was nothing else after Spider-Man. I just turned it off.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think of the conference?
I mean,
a lot of really cool shit.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff to be excited about for everybody, really, but just slightly more for PlayStation owners. So,
and the less exclusives there are for every console, the better off the world is, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just like Spider-Man, Final Fantasy. It seems like a handful of other things are at least going to PlayStation first before.
Yeah.
And almost everything I wanted is for everything, or isn't
which
listed
is good.
as an exclusive.
Yeah, that's what you want.
But
That's how most of
PlayStation
these are
fans
now.
are let down. I think PlayStation fans wanted the kill shot against Xbox, and
Well,
it
they
didn't
ain't ever
happen.
going to get that. So,
Hey, don't say that.
I mean, I think they did when when they said the PlayStation 4 was going to be $399. Like, that's as dead as you're going to make the Xbox.
Yeah, that's also 10 years ago, though. So
Yes, exactly. So like, it's not getting any more dead, and it's not getting any more alive. It's just existing.
now they could turn it around. They're still. Who knows? They have how many studios in the wings? If they actually start putting stuff out,
let's get real. Like, has Microsoft announced when they're doing something? It's in June, right?
June. Yeah, I think the
June. Yeah,
12th maybe.
They need to have some motherfucking like Xbox exclusive
they need
games at that thing
this year.
It's been sad. Like Game Pass is great. You know, they're getting the indies. Honestly, there really hasn't been as much recently that I've been interested on there. But in terms of like first party Microsoft Xbox exclusive games on the series consoles, it has been sad.
Yeah,
I just don't feel like that's really their focus right now, is making exclusives anymore.
Well,
it
needs to
be.
They need to focus on that shit because
people Game Pass is good, but you need and you know they have Starfield coming, but like they need more than that. They got to start like actually being like, yeah, here we bought all these studios. Here's the games that we paid for. Like that stuff has to start turning up.
Yeah.
Like you can get Game Pass on other things. That's their whole deal. Like, but yeah, need some games.
I think this fall is going to be a big teller whether Forza and Starfield actually come out, and if Sony has anything hidden that they didn't really. Because what does Sony have coming out this fall? They have Spider-Man. What else?
That's all you need.
And a lot of people think.
Yeah. I was about to say that sarcastically. At the same time, it's also true.
Yeah. Like,
Spider-Man doesn't even have a firm date. So a lot of people are wondering if it's going to slip to next year.
Oh, I hope not. The last one came out in September. This one, I'm going to guess November. But they didn't say a date, so that means like they're not that confident about it coming out this fall.
Some Sony figures we could go over quick. PS Plus Premium has 8 million subscribers, while PS Plus Extra has 6.1 million stupid idiots wasting their money like me.
Congrats on being a dumbass.
Yeah, Extra has not been worth it at all, and I'm still paying for it. The VR2 is over 600,000 units sold.
Cool.
And then Spider-Man Remastered has 1.5 million sales on PC. Last of Us Part 1, surprisingly, under 370.
I mean, it was an older game, and it was trash when it came out.
Yeah.
Senua's the new Senua's Hellblade game, that needs to come out this year.
I don't think that's going to be this year. I hope it is.
Oh my God. They announced that when they announced the console. Come on.
I know.
It's this year. It's this year. It's got to be this year. They showed like a big long thing for it last year. It's got to be this year. What are you doing?
I don't think it's coming this year. I wanted to, but I don't think it will.
I'm going to bet on this year.
No, it is coming. Power Wash Sim doing a crossover with Warhammer.
I'm sorry, what?
I was going to say your mom, but this might be funnier.
No, Power Wash Sim is going to be doing a crossover with Warhammer 40K. This after the news, they're doing a crossover with SpongeBob.
Oh,
so
God, that's like two opposite ends of the spectrum. Like, holy shit.
Just add more achievements, please. Please let me pop more achievements playing this game. Trackmania hit 5 million players. Yay. Embracer Group apparently had a $2 billion partnership deal fall through this past week. There's no details on who the partnership may have been with, but rampant speculation suggested everyone from Amazon to Xbox to Sony, so it's probably like Facebook.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. And then last bit of news I have, AEW Fight Forever. You knew we would talk about it.
I knew you'd come.
Got a release date of June 29th. Isaiah, what do you think of that?
I hate that.
Joe, if we have to get a code for that, you'd already know. Anyways, yeah, that's exciting.
I'm trying. I am trying to get multiples of that for you and Adam.
It's been a long time coming, no pun intended. Brother Zay, but yeah, and I'm excited. I hope that game is good. I hope it lives up to this weight, because if somehow you don't know, this is supposedly going to be the second coming of like the N64 Aki wrestling games, and that's all I've wanted for like 25 years out of a wrestling game.
Since Fight for New York,
another one of those. So yeah, that's next. After that, it's going to be AEW Fight for New York.
That would be amazing.
It would be great.
But if Fight Forever sucks, I mean,
Tony Khan will pay for his crimes.
Yeah, that's fair. Very good.
We're the only two who get those jokes, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I've
been spaced out this entire time.
I wanted to apologize to Brooke earlier today for having to sit through that, but I know she is somewhat wrestling adjacent. But it was just like,
I'm trying to get Brooke to join us for these.
Hang on, quick game to play here. This is I am TBA Microsoft Game Studios games. Okay. All right. Shit. All you have to do is say whether or not they're coming out this year. Okay. God. Oh God. This is
the
scary.
answer is just no continuously.
I think you might be right. There's a couple of Age of Empires. Okay, so Avowed. Do you know what Avowed is?
Not definitely not. No.
That is definitely not this year. But that is the Obsidian like first person like a AAA RPG. No, not this year. Everwild.
Definitely not this year.
Rare, I think, isn't it? Or no? Yep. Is it from Rare?
That's Rare. It was announced in 2019.
I think if they show it off at the conference this year, it's this year. If they don't, it's not.
Okay, so
I think apparently that game might be just dead, to be honest.
The game was, when asked in 2021, the game had been rebooted and was a ways off, scheduled for approximately 2023. They said, oh wait, no. Oh, okay. They already say it's been pushed back to 2024. Okay, never mind. That one's a no.
I was right.
Yes, good one. Contraband.
I don't know what this game is, so no.
Me
Avalanche?
Avalanche.
No, I don't think this year.
I don't even know what that is. Fable from Playground Games.
No.
That's never coming out.
I don't think that's ever coming out. But
I think that's correct. Perfect Dark.
No.
No. I think that one will come out though, but not this year.
Okay.
No.
All right. I don't know what Project Mara is. That's a Ninja Theory one. But okay. Yeah. And also, so we said Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. I think yes this year.
Yeah, I think that is.
You do think that's this year? All right.
I thought they said that.
Okay. All right.
Well, what they say and what's reality are not always the same.
It was announced the Game Awards 2019. So if it comes out this year, it's 4 years. I know there was a longer showcase of it, like, within the last year. So I think it could be this year. State of Decay 3.
That could be, yeah.
I could see it.
Okay. All right.
Could be a good fall title.
How about The Outer Worlds 2?
No. Next year, I think.
So that was announced in 2020. You know, the reason why I wouldn't see it coming out this year is because fucking Starfield is coming out this year.
Yeah.
For sure. Like conceivably, with like that game came out in 2019, I think. I lost my tab. 2019. I if in a Starfield-less fall, I could be like, okay, they're gonna big showcase of that game, and it will come out in November. But I just feel like they'd be stepping on their own toes. So no, yeah, I think a no on that one. How about Untitled Kojima Productions game?
Don't care.
Okay, do you think we hear what it is?
No, I don't. I don't think it exists anymore. I think it fell through.
All right, fair enough. Okay.
Or
Aki, how can you not care when you're just hyped for Metal Gear?
I like Metal Gear, but that's it. I'm not.
What else does he do?
He did Death Stranding.
Yeah, and I really thought that was fucking stupid in every conceivable way.
Never played that way. Yeah, and he's working on Death Stranding 2 now anyways, right? So
yeah, which just makes me lose even more faith in anything he could do.
Compulsion Games. I don't know who they are.
Compulsion made We Happy Few.
Okay. All right.
We need to hear what they're up to. It's been they've been quiet for way too long.
I honestly didn't know they were still around. I thought they were bought up and then disappeared.
Because I mean, like We Happy Few. I mean, like it went out like a wet fart.
Oh,
I bought that game. I haven't played it, though.
Okay, I got confused. I thought, okay, now I see what's what. Never mind. I thought this was the company that was making Fable, but no, that's Playground, and that is not the same thing. Yeah, I guess we haven't heard anything from Double Fine since Psychonauts 2. I'm sure they're working on something.
No, they said they actually made an announcement today that they were releasing. I think it's like more classic titles.
Okay, so we heard from them like 8 hours ago. I was off by a little. So yeah, they're like re-releasing some of their older games, or
I only read the headline.
Oh,
good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, nobody else. I think we've kind of touched on all of their studios. I don't know what's under Bethesda and I guess Activision that might pop out. Maybe there'll be some surprises, but yeah. In Exile, they own In Exile. I don't think they got anything coming anytime soon. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know. That's the stuff. So I think we only had like a couple that were like State of Decay and Senua's Saga. Those were like the two. And Starfield's a big deal.
And Forza. They're going to have Forza coming out.
Yeah. So yeah, they should have some stuff
for that now.
Yeah.
Which is pissing me off because it was supposed to be out like last year, and I just want some fucking Forza racing.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Cool.
Yeah, that is the news, Tim. I guess we'll let you get going.
Step off.
Thank you for joining us to chat Sony's with us.
Yeah, it was a fun presentation.
You have any final words before we move on to reviews?
What is this Hogwarts thing you're reviewing?
It's a game.
Come on,
Aki, tell us about it.
You play as your own custom character at Hogwarts.
Oh my god. Well, J.K. Rowling can get fucked. Good night.
first game to talk about tonight is Hogwarts Legacy, developed by Avalanche Software, published by Warner Brothers Games, released May 5th on Xbox One and PS4 for $59.99, previously available on next-gen consoles and PC. Hogwarts Legacy is an open-world action RPG set in the world first introduced in the Harry Potter books. Embark on a journey through familiar and new locations as you explore and discover magical beasts, customize your character, and craft potions, master spellcasting, upgrade talents, and become the wizard you want to be. Aki, tell us about your time spent with Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay. In this, you make your own custom character and you go to Hogwarts. Yay! You are starting as a 5th-year student because I guess you got your magical mail lost for 4 fucking school years. I cannot comprehend, but hey, whatever, I guess. And you have the ability to see ancient magic, something that is not something that anyone can do. And it is your tale to unfold to figure out what the fuck this power is for and why a bad guy wants it. And the bad guy isn't a guy, it is a goblin. And he's a little asshole. So there's that. You do get to visit Hogwarts, the school, and you get to walk around in it, and it's pretty fun. You also occasionally have to take classes. Usually it's cutscenes, and then do this one very simple, basic item.
So, can I ask a question real quick? So is it like Bully in that respect?
No, it is not as in depth with the school stuff.
Okay.
I think I've put 20 something hours into it, and I've taken 4 classes so far. Just 4 classes. That's it.
Oh. Wow.
You go there specifically. The first time you go is basically to teach you how to use a spell, and then later on you get extra assignments because you're supposed to be getting caught up with everybody else. And in that, you usually have to do a couple little mini quests. For instance, one of the potion teachers is like, here, make this potion, use it, make this potion, use it, and then come see me and I'll teach you a new spell. Yay! And it's literally just go make those 2 potions and use them the way you're supposed to, and voila, go to the teacher. You get to see a school day real quick, go by in 10 seconds, and then they teach you a new spell. And often the spell is almost identical to something you already fucking have. For instance, I have 3 spells that basically just make something float.
Nice.
Cool game. Out of the 5 billion fucking spells, you gave me 3 of them that float shit. Thank you. But throughout all this, you also have side quests for other characters that you meet, being both students within Hogwarts and also individuals from the surrounding hamlets, because you do get to go outside of Hogwarts. And there's a bunch of them, and the map is huge, and you go everywhere. And at first, you can only walk because you don't have a broom, and that takes forever. I've played 20-something hours into this, and I still haven't unlocked the full map.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm pretty high up there in levels, though, so that's pretty cool. I think level 40 is your max, and I'm at 32 already, and I still haven't finished the first semester.
Well, that's because of how you play. You do all the side quests before doing the missions.
I would like to say lots of people play that way.
Well, we just got to point out that it's not that you don't play it like most people. Like most people, they're going to do the missions and do a side quest here or there, where you're a completionist that you do everything on the side first and then the story. So it makes sense that you're still in the first year.
Yeah, and there is a lot of fucking shit to do up in this bitch. Once you leave Hogwarts, just kiss it goodbye, because you ain't ever going back to that motherfucker ever again. Because you will be stuck in this overworld for... Because while you travel through it, you'll find an occasional hamlet, which is just a very small little town with 5 houses, 6 houses, something like that. It's a little nothing. If you walked through and let's say we're magical and decided to kill everybody, no one would know. And then there's, obviously there's one of a handful of animals that will attack you if they see you. Giant weird toads, wolves, and ugly fucking spiders that I don't know if there's an arachnophobia setting for this. I believe there is, because mine only have 4 legs and they all end in skates. So they're really funny looking. So I approve of that personally. And occasionally you'll also find little bandit camps or poachers that are going around, which are people generally, or people and goblins. And you just beat the shit out of them, because why the fuck not? So you can clear the bandit camps, that you can find special chests in there that give you a specific type of rune that I think you can equip to your clothing once you unlock that ability, because I don't have it yet. Because again, I'm not that far. There's also things called Merlin trials. And those are very important. You do need to go do those, because every X amount of those, and for each level you have to do more and more of them, that you do, you unlock the ability to hold more shit. Thankfully, the shit you hold in this is just more stuff that you can equip on your character, so it's not like, oh, now I can carry 10 healing potions instead of 5. No, it's, now I can carry another, 4, 8, 12, something like that, gear items. So your face, your a shawl, clothing, boots, gloves, to just make your character stronger. Because again, there's not a lot of hamulets, so it's going to be a while before you can get somewhere to sell all your shit. That's realistically what you do, because the transmog system, and this is amazing. If you've ever had the item, you can sell it. You can still equip what it looked like forever. It is great. So my character looks nothing like any of the gear I've ever had my hands on in the past 10 hours. And then there's a bunch of other things, like you can find monster dens where you can usually find some specialized chests. There's also locations for animals that you can collect later on in the game, not where I am, which is a good way to make money, because you can be a poacher too. Even though the game is very anti-poacher, you can be a poacher, and that's how you make money real quick. You eventually get access to the Room of Requirement, which is the hidden room throughout the book and movies that no one can access unless you really need it, and then it just poofs into existence. And basically that turns into a room that you can customize with, your own potion brewing sets, with places that will automatically make plant leaves and shit for potion making, some where you can grow plants, and other little nifty things you can use. It's all really cool. I actually recently unlocked that, and I've just been having a blast customizing it, because not only can you set all this stuff up, you can change the color of these things. There's usually a few different versions of each one of them you can put in based on whatever style you like. You can change the walls, the floor, the ceiling. Everything in this room can be fucking completely customized, and it is so cool. Otherwise, combat it's fun. It's kind of mindless, because there's not a lot to do. You get a handful of spells, and as you continue through the game, you get more spells. But as I stated, I have 3 spells that basically fucking levitate people. So, yeah. I have 2 of them that set people on fire. Would you like to know the difference besides that? One of them's up close, and one of them I can hit them from further away. Woo. Still, combat isn't, unenjoyable. It's just not exactly inspired. I really enjoy the combat, because when you spend a lot of time just running around trying to find shit, it's really fun when suddenly you get to kick the shit out of something for a little bit. If you're playing through the main stories, it's just going to be beat on beat on beat. Once you go out to start doing the extra stuff, it can kind of get a little boring, because there's just so much stuff and there's not a lot of combat at that point. Especially when you unlock the broom, then you can just bypass everything, which is good in its own right.
So
There
I have a question for you. Were you able to test this on Xbox One and Series, or just on Series?
I played it on both.
How was the performance on Xbox One?
It's a little slower to load things, but not by much. There's an HD graphics pack that you can also download, which is another 10 gigs on top of the 23 or something like that gigs that the main game is. I didn't bother to take that because I had the Xbox Series version if I really wanted the really good graphics. And honestly, even without the HD pack, the graphics aren't terrible. They're not going to wow you, but they're not bad. It doesn't look like a particularly dated game or anything. It looks pretty good. The only time when it doesn't look great is at distance. There's more pop in, and for the map, it doesn't look quite as good, but the map is ugly anyway, so who cares? Because in this game, the map is just literally an overhead look at like a map. Like when you're like, oh, I don't want to see the map of Hogwarts. It's like someone flew above Hogwarts and took a picture from above it in a helicopter. That's it. That's how you get to figure out your way around Hogwarts. You don't get to see the floor plans or anything, which really sucks. Makes it so hard to find your way around that bitch, because your mini-map shows that stuff. Your map does not. I really would like it to show both. So, so when you see, like, the trees and stuff on the map, they look like garbage, but it's a map, so who cares? But otherwise, no, it looked almost exactly the same. I was really impressed by it. Granted, my eyesight is also garbage, but I was playing, like, a foot away from the TV. So,
performance-wise, it holds up.
Oh, yeah. Very, very well. And if you download the extra
file, is it compatible back and forth?
Yes.
Nice.
100%. You don't have to do anything to the save even. You just start playing, you can play on your Series X, and then save, quit out, go over to your Xbox One, pop it on, and your save's immediately already there.
Very cool.
I was kind of shocked. I was very impressed by that. I figured I'd have to do something to get it to port over, or that I could only port it one direction. But no, instantaneous both directions. It was so cool. Any other questions?
No.
From the peanut galleries?
No, the only question I have is the game is $60. What are your thoughts on it?
I liked it. And obviously, I will also point out J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit, and Harry Potter is not particularly well written. And this game is not amazingly well written, but they could only go after, what existed already, and J.K. Rowling is kind of crap at writing. So
we got to remember, you got to separate the art from the artist. J.K. Rowling had near nothing to do with this game. It's just she makes money off of it. Her stupid name is on it, but creatively, I don't think she had a thing to do with it.
Oh no, some of the things in this would piss her off. Like there's a very clearly trans character that you meet within like the first few hours of gameplay, and she would fucking throw us.
So there you go. It's a solid game, and it'll piss off J.K. Rowling. So
yes, I didn't expect to like this as much as I did, to be honest. I kind of went into this being like, I'm probably not going to like this that much. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, surprisingly.
Well, it's been doing well with reviews. It's been doing well with sales. So maybe we'll see another one in the future. But we got to move on. The next game is a sequel. It's called FUGA 2 Melodies of Steel 2.
Fall into the abyss.
We just got a raid by Horror Acolyte. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you everyone for coming in, hanging out. We're just starting our second review of the night. Next game to talk about is FUGA Melodies of Steel 2, developed and published by CyberConnect 2, released May 11th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $39.99. The sequel to the captivating tale of FUGA Melodies of Steel has arrived. This turn-based RPG is back with a ramped-up battle system for more strategy, as well as a brand new event system that gives you more thrilling choices to affect your experience. Our friend Andy Sperry wrote in a review, this is what he's got to say. FUGA 2 Melodies of Steel by CyberConnect 2 is essentially an updated sequel to its predecessor with new battle options and a continuation of the storyline from the first game. Released 2 years after the original, FUGA 2 is a strategy RPG that takes the furries to the battlefield. FUGA 2 picks up a year after the events of the first game. The cast of children from the first installment are summoned to help with an investigation of the Tyrannus, a giant AI mechanized tank. Unfortunately, during their survey, the Tyrannus suddenly wakes up and begins wreaking havoc, then sets out on a deadly rampage across Gasco, trapping a few of the children inside. The remaining heroes then board a recovered enemy tank, Tarascus, good name, and begin to a journey to save their friends. The story seems simple enough, but FUGA 2 dives so much deeper into the emotional state of these kids, their bond to each other, and those they meet along the way. Despair, rage, and loss in a world of war weighs heavily on the lives of these characters. Players start their journey on a track-based battlefield. Markers along the path indicate encounters, items, or special events. Battles are turn-based and offer a few new features not seen in the first game, including Hero Mode, which boosts attack and stats for a period of time, and an ultimate soul weapon that easily turns the tide of battle, but at a high cost. 3 main weapons are available during battle: grenade launcher, machine gun, and cannon, each wielded by different characters and each with their own special abilities. Different weapons will render specific types of enemy vessels useless for a turn if executed properly. Machine guns are better against flying enemies, and cannons are better against ground-based enemies. Different combinations can be used to exterminate all incoming enemies. With consumable items, hero abilities, and special moves, most battles are a breeze as long as the player possesses a basic understanding of tactics and a timeline-based battle system. Switching between characters and figuring out which pairing works best is all part of the enjoyment. After each battle, the team is judged by turns taken, damage received, and technique used. The doing well in a battle and earning a higher ranking, that in turn means better loot and experience. Items are picked up along the battlefield and range from scrap materials for ship upgrades to HP and SP containers. Later in the game, the option for more difficult pathways is presented for gamers looking for more challenging experience. These pathways generally sacrifice health for better loot. Special event triggers frequently and offer more detailed view into the lives of the game's brave young children and their story. Intermissions let the player view inside the tank and interact with the inhabitants. Switching between characters, the player can navigate. Chatting with different characters and doing tasks for them reveals and improves the bonds between everyone. Stronger bonds lead to better collaboration in battles. Other tasks available inside the tank include upgrading weapons and armor, cooking food, fishing for loot, and even taking a nap, which is what I plan to do after this show. Each child has an optional objective that can be completed to gain some nice rewards. Runes on the map lead to short platforming journeys for treasure. Another new feature allows the player to call for an airship for supply drops or even summon an air raid on future enemies. The wealth of options breaks up the game into more exciting ventures and limits the monotony of turn-based battles. Between each chapter, the crew takes a short break in the local town, giving players an opportunity to mingle with the locals and purchase gear and items. Visually, FUGA 2 is stunning. Characters and battle mechanics are well crafted and interesting to behold. The bond between these kids grows and holds strong throughout the game. With an added ability to make choices that affect the game's outcome, players will almost feel like a genuine part of the crew. Overall, FUGA 2 Melodies of Steel is a vast RPG that's solid in virtually all aspects. The strategic turn-based elements might be a turnoff for some people, but if you happen to have Game Pass, it is absolutely worth a try. FUGA 2 is on Steam and consoles, available for $39.99, and is looking at very positive reviews, so give it a go and make up your mind on your own as well. Thank you, Andy, for writing in your review and giving us your thoughts on FUGA. Aki, you played the first one. What are your thoughts on hearing about this one?
I barely remember the first one, to be honest. All I remember was it was depressing. So I'm still worried that this one's gonna have, depressing stuff in it, and that just worries me because
it's depressing and kids.
That's why it's depressing. Actually,
that's actually why I was just like, nope, not even touching it.
Yeah. For people who don't know, in the first game, you have a special ability. And it costs one of your characters their lives.
Yeah,
and
it's
all
the
the characters.
spirit cannon that he mentioned with the high price. It's a super powered weapon, but you gotta sacrifice someone to use it. And it is
Yeah, and it's depressing. It's espresso the depresso because the characters do react when you do it. And no. Just no.
What if it's a character everybody hates?
None of the characters are hateable, though, is the problem. All the characters in this, they're like one little family, and they're all adorable, and it's just Espresso the Depresso. Just no.
Espresso the Depresso.
Yes.
It's my stage name as a magician.
Okay, well, anyway, Jacob only likes happy, upbeat games, so the next game to talk about is Nightmare Reaper. Developed by Blazing Bit Games, published by Feardemic, released May 18th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $29.99. A dark and violent meld of retro and modern action games inspired by the classic 2.5D first-person shooters of the 90s, with elements of modern looter shooters and roguelites. Intense and addictive gameplay, tons of enemies are crammed in open-ended levels full of surprises, geysers of blood and treasure. Jacob, tell us about your time with Nightmare Reaper.
So Nightmare Reaper is this retro first-person shooter, very like, and when I say retro, because the genre is now old enough. I'm talking like Doom, Old Marathon, those kind of graphics, a lot of pixelated stuff. And with this, you just wake up in this like hellscape. And the game thankfully has a tutorial to like teach you everything, or at least most of it, from the get-go. And I'm not going to lie, it is a lot to take in at first, because there are mechanics that they introduce that, a lot of retro first-person shooters just don't have this kind of stuff. And so I'm not going to lie, it was a little jarring, but once you get the hang of it, it feels pretty right. And so what it is that each of these levels are just randomly generated, and you just you go through each one, I should say you just keep going, and the more levels you go through, the tougher they start getting. And they're if you want a lot of guns, we're not talking Borderlands 3 level of guns, but there is a lot of different. I mean, it's just there's rail guns, there's missile launchers, there are every kind of gun, shotgun, pistol, it's all here. And the monsters that you're fighting are equally varied, and on top of it, you could go into the settings and you could determine how much blood you want there to be. And you could the game has a standard amount of blood, and you could actually bump that up to I think it actually is geysers or something like that.
Nice.
But yeah. And so it's just it's a lot of, you just go in, kill everything, collect your loot, get new weapons, upgrade abilities. Because there is a skill tree involved, kind of like a skill tree, I should say. And yeah, you just keep going and going. I could see some people getting bored with it, but honestly, the game, I kept getting it. I liked it a lot. I just wanted to keep going and see what other crazy crap this game could come up with, because obviously no two levels are ever going to be the same, both in terms of layout and what monsters you get. But yeah, and because it's randomly generated, some of the levels are kind of weird and don't the geometry doesn't exactly always make sense, or layout, I should say. But honestly, if it clicks for you, and you love retro RPGs with more and roguelites, then I think you're going to find a lot to like here. But I could also see some retro fans being this is a little too far of a deviation. But honestly, I thought it was really solid. I had a lot of fun.
Nice. So for 20, I'm trying to speak over my cat here because Simon wants attention right now.
Always.
So, hi, Simon. So $29.99. What is your verdict?
$29.99 is pretty solid. I mean, Yeah, it's just you get a lot of game for for this. It's just hopefully, it. Like, I mean, I say yes, buy it, but I also if you can try out a demo before it, I would suggest doing that just so you get an idea of just so you get an idea of it and its systems and stuff. I think that's honestly important for this kind of game. But I still heavily recommend it.
Cool, sounds good. Next game is Last Labyrinth Lucidity Lost, developed and published by Amata KK. Released May 18th on Xbox One, Series X and S for $29.99. Saw meets Ico in this haunting and intimate title. Players must work together with a mysterious girl who speaks a foreign language to escape a mansion full of hidden dangers. Aki, escape room?
Kind of. This was originally a VR game, I guess I should point out. So it still has all those same mechanics at play. Your character can't speak, can't move on their own, nothing. They look around and they push a button and a little laser on top of their head points at something. And then this little girl who is supposed to be, I assume, speaking something along the lines of Japanese, but is actually speaking gibberish, basically goes to wherever and interacts with what you tell her to. You are the brains, she is the movement, and you don't know what the fuck she's saying. And the whole thing is, let's get out of here alive. Because obviously you require her to move around, and she requires someone who has half a brain to function. And every room you go into is basically a puzzle. Each one is completely different. There was one where we had to align lasers up, and that room took me 3 hours to finish because I couldn't figure it out. To different areas, or else when you push the button to leave the room, it kills both of you. So that's basically what this game is. Let's watch a kid die, the game. It's not super graphic, so don't worry, but it is heavily implied, and she screams a lot. There's some points where, she'll fall into a meat grinder, and then you fall into a meat grinder. There's other points where, both of you get electrocuted. Things like that. It's great fun. Great fun. There was, a light and prism puzzle that I saw. There was a couple train puzzles where you had to rearrange the tracks. And they were set on levers that you pulled, so it would just flip over the piece to reveal a different piece, and it had 4 or 5 of them to try and figure out how to get a train through to get all these flags to go up and get it to where it needed to go. Otherwise, you would die. It's great. There's even a Simon Says type puzzle in it. The puzzles are all over the fucking place. The only thing that's the same in between them is she's fucking slow at everything. You have to tell her yes, interact with that until you don't, which becomes very complicated because then she always ends up grabbing the box at the wrong fucking end, which is a pain in the ass. And yeah, you're gonna watch yourself and her die a lot because there's an achievement for dying in every room.
Of course, so you had to get that.
Oh yeah, well, I got every achievement. It was easy. There's also an achievement for beating basically every room. And after every couple of rooms, there's an optional, basically one of many endings that you get to see. And there's an achievement for getting all of those, and so on and so forth. And the game doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense until you're near the end, and then you're like, oh! And I'm not going to share that, obviously, so, yeah. But yeah, I really liked this. I don't think there's a second game, which is a shame. I really hope that this sells well and they create a new one, because this was really fun. It took me all of 4 or 5 hours to beat.
Oh, well, it is, it's $30. To me, it seems like it's kind of expensive for how short of a game it is, but what are your thoughts?
I think it would be best to wait for a 40-50% off sale. I think originally the price was because it was a VR title, and therefore it was the new unique thing.
VR tax.
Yeah, and this isn't a VR game anymore. Like, you can put on a VR headset on the Xbox and it's not going to fucking do anything. This is purely controlled with your controller. So I think it could stand to be a bit cheaper, but I think it is definitely one, if you like puzzles and you like watching a little girl get killed, I think it's a great game.
And if you like watching a little girl get killed, please write us so we can turn you into the proper authorities. Next game to talk about is Home Sheep Home Farmageddon Party Edition, developed by Mobile Pie, published by Greenlight Games, released May 25th on Xbox One, Series X and S, PS4, and PS5 for $10.99. Join Sean the Sheep and his friends Timmy and Shirley on this epic adventure, journeying through underground caverns, negotiating the busy streets of London, and teleporting through outer space, all in search of green grass of home. Jacob, tell us about your time with Home Sheep Home.
So honestly, I wish that my kids were here for this review, because they have absolutely adored this game. And they would, for once, I think they'd actually be able to fill up like the 20 minutes that they're usually on, instead of rambling about other things that aren't related to the video game. They would actually just discuss Home Sheep Home the whole entire time. So in case you're not familiar, this is based on the Shaun the Sheep claymation series by Aardman. You can watch it on Netflix. There is also a sequel series, like a semi-sequel series called Timmy Time. Highly recommend that. That's adorable as hell. So anyways, it's a lot of puzzles, simple puzzles too, because obviously this is aimed at kids. Simple but challenging, I should rephrase. And you have 3 sheeps that you can control. You have Sean, who's kind of like the middle one, but also can jump really high. Timmy, who's like the little baby sheep, lamb, whatever you want to call him, who could just go into really tiny tunnels. And then Shirley, who is Timmy's mom, and she's really big, but she can push items where they need to go better than the others. And most of the game is just a lot of puzzles getting the sheep from point A to point B and not losing any of the sheep along the way. If you do lose one of the sheep, like they fall down a hole or something like that, then you have to restart the level. And the levels occasionally have bonuses, like there's socks that you can collect. Some of them have hidden pathways to get to other stuff. But it's fairly simplistic, and my kids were easily able to pick up, each of the puzzles and understand what they were supposed to do. Even if you can't read, which I thought was really nice, the game still shows you what you need to be able to do, because they obviously figure some of the kids who are going to play this obviously can't read full sentences, much less read. So it does make easy to understand stuff, and my youngest was very easily able to pick this game up and have an absolute blast. So that's the main part of the game. There is also a party mode in it, and there's a ton of small games in it. Most of it, I wouldn't say it's not going to be like a Mario Party kind of thing. But my kids loved this one where you're just going down a hill or during an avalanche, and you're just trying to, keep your sheep ahead of everything while avoiding all the obstacles. But yeah, my kids were having an absolute blast with this. It's a lot of fun. The game does glitch occasionally, but it's nothing major. It's nothing game breaking.
What glitches did you run into?
Sometimes the sheep weren't able to move, but it just seemed. But then, if I restarted the level, I couldn't get the glitch to repeat. So it was just random stuff. And also, occasionally there was some issues with the physics of if I was doing a puzzle where there were blocks involved. I remember one time, a block just kept bouncing, which was kind of funny. But
I will say the best way to play this game, at least the main story mode, is with 2 friends, because I was lucky enough to have our friends Doc Havoc and Lady McGreet visit this past weekend, and the three of us sat down and went through like half the game in a sit down, and we were having a blast. It's a lot easier to work when you have 3 people instead of switching between the sheep on your own. It's just a good, fun party game to sit down on the couch and have a blast and laugh and curse at each other during, Shaun the Sheep. I like it. It's a really cute game, and it's affordable. It's $10.99. What are your thoughts?
$10.99, absolutely. I figured honestly this was like a $20 title. There's a lot to do, and it's a wholesome game. And it's a wholesome kids game, and it's appropriate for the whole family. I really liked it, and it's definitely one of my favorite kids games that have released so far this year.
Cool. All right, moving on. Next game to talk about is Planet of Lana! I'm sorry, I had to do that. That's all that's been in my head with this game since it was announced.
Yeah, I know.
Danger Zone. Developed by Wishfully Thinking, published by Thunderful Publishing, released May 23rd on Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC for $19.99. A planet that used to be a place of undisturbed balance between humans, nature, and animals now becomes something else entirely. The disharmony that has been the making for hundreds of years has finally arrived in the form of a faceless army. But this is not a story about war. This is a story about a vibrant, beautiful planet and the journey to keep it that way. Aki, tell us about your time spent with Planet of Lana!
Alrighty then. In this, you play, maybe Lana? Maybe the planet's called Lana? I have no fucking clue. You are one of an indigenous group of people who live in ramshackle houses out on the water. Because apparently you decided it was better to make, houses on the water than literally the forest right there where you got all this shit from. Whatever. And you and your older sister are out just vibing, I guess. And then bad shit happens. Namely, what looks like a meteor shower that's going to hit the planet turns out not to be meteors. Instead, it's robots. And they've decided to kidnap everyone. You got away, your sister did not. So now it's time to go find everybody and figure out what the fuck's going on. There's language in this. It's all gibberish. None of it means anything.
I thought you meant there was profanity in the game.
Well, there might be, but it's also gibberish. I know I used a lot of profanity. Most of this game is a puzzle platformer. The platforming can suck sometimes. What you're trying to get around throughout all of this is there are some beasties, and none of the beasties like people, apparently, except for this one random weird shadow cat thing that you become friends with. But everything else is here's this big weird spider thing with 15 eyes and an entire mouth of jagged fucking creepy goddamn teeth that crawls along the ground like a slug. Or here's this gigantic dog-like thing that's more like a bison with a dog mouth, and it wants to eat your face. Or the robots who will capture you or electrocute you or leave you to death. Whatever they want to do at the time. And you're basically just trying to get around these things or get them to fall into traps or something of that nature, just so you can get from point A to point B. It's great fun.
Also great fun is watching biddies fall in the cup from Lloyd Berry. Lloyd, thank you for dropping 100 biddies in chat. Always good having you here.
But yeah, basically you're just getting from one side of the screen to the other typically. As you get further in, you get some abilities that you can use. No. You get to figure out some of the story through cave paintings and shit like that. but again, there's no... The written language they have is just gibberish. It doesn't mean anything. So it doesn't really explain anything, and there's some murals you can find as well as collectibles. There's like 10 of them, and I only got half of them because I suck. And I assume they probably tell more of the story. Again, no words, all gibberish. But I haven't found them all, so meh. I've beaten this game. I've played it through one time. And I have 480 gamer score out of the 1,000. So I don't know what the fuck I missed, but it's driving me crazy.
I know one of the achievements is to beat the game without dying.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was afraid that was going to be one of the achievements, but I was like, I just kind of want to see every way in which your character can die.
Now you gotta redo it.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can use... It does unlock a chapter select, so I'm hoping I can just play each level without dying, and that'll give me it too, I'm hoping. If not, then I'll just get every other fucking achievement first. Fuck it. This game took me a surprisingly long period of time. I figured this would be done in just a few hours. This game took me a couple days of pretty solid regular play each day. There are a lot of levels in this, and sometimes it's not just, hey, let's run and hopefully jump and grab onto this thing above us. Sometimes there's little quick time events, and that's where I was cussing a lot. So there's that. So yeah, the quick time events, there's only a couple sections with them, but in one of them, they give you a ton of them one after another, and it's bad. You have to react fast, and I am not quick. So yeah, otherwise, I thought it was a really cute, really fun game. These are the kinds of games that I really enjoy playing. So yeah.
Cool. Well, the game is $19.99. Also available as part of the Xbox Game Pass. What are your thoughts?
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Cool. Anything else?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
One final game to talk about tonight is some DLC for Bratz Flaunt Your Fashion, the Girls' Night Out Fashion Pack, developed by Petoons Studio, published by Outright Games, released May 12th on all platforms as DLC for Bratz Flaunt Your Fashion for $4.99. Hey, Bratz Pack, the Stylin' Soiree was such a high fashion hit that it caught the eye of a world-renowned designer, and they want to work with you. Work on expanding the Bratz magazine by reporting on your travels around Barcelona, Seoul, Stylesville. Customize the girls with fresh new hairstyles, makeup, and outfits from the Girls' Night Out collection to wow your followers. Jacob, did you wow your followers?
I mean, no more than they were already wowed by me. I mean, although I did look fabulous in the new dresses.
I don't believe you.
Whatever. Hater. Anyway, so this is DLC that's set after the end of Bratz Flaunt Your Fashion, which I don't know why I'm finding this to be a very funny sentence, but anyway, and there is
post-game
a major
content for the hardcore only.
Yeah, only hardcore gamers are gonna want to play this game. And so there's this major fashion designer who you never see, who emails you and is just like, wow, I really dug your styles at Soiree. Like, let's work together. I'm going to send you these dresses, and I want you to go to various locales, and you're going to take photos of yourself, in these dresses or whatever. And what it is that you're given specific instructions on like what style you're supposed to show up in. And you have to go to various cities, and in specific locations, you have to take photos of yourself. And I don't know, like it felt like it was done to just pad on some runtime to the game, because in one of the locales, the X Games one, which is in Barcelona, the game is not specific as to which photo place you're supposed to go to, and the X Games one has at least 5 different locations, and so you're running around trying to figure out which one the game actually wants you to use. And it's just, I don't know, it just felt like busy time on this. Like, it didn't really feel like it was providing much new. The dresses, honestly, I thought the dresses looked a lot nicer than a lot of the previous fashion. So if you're looking for new outfits, then this game's got you hooked up. But one thing I didn't like about that is that the game doesn't tell you, like, hey, you've got new stuff sitting in your closet. I mean, it does give you that message, but it doesn't give you, like, a visual aspect of, like, this is what's new in your closet with this DLC. And so, like, I ended up having to ask up on the Outright Games Discord, you know, it's like, hey, like, do I have to earn this through the game, or is it already in my closet? Like, and so I'm not going to lie, it's a little confusing at first. And I'm still not sure if there was more to, like, that got added to my closet other than the girls' night out 4 dresses that you get. But yeah, I mean, the DLC ended up making me complete the rest of the quests in the game I had not already finished.
Nice.
I mean, I'd already 1K'd it, so it's, you know, because I'm so hardcore at games. Right. But
well, the DLC's $5. What do you think about it?
I don't know. You're
supposed to know. It's your job to know.
My thing is that it's just like, was it nice to have a couple of extra quests? Yeah, but it really didn't feel like anything new, and it really just felt like it really felt like it didn't add anything to it. If you, like, already played through the Bratz game, you've already 1K'd it, I don't know that I could really recommend going out to getting this DLC for it, because it's not like it's not that big of a change for the game. Now, like, if you've got kids and they haven't completed the game yet, then sure, go for it, especially if they're enjoying the Bratz game. But if you're just a casual fan, or, like, you're really only going out there for, like, you're only playing this game for the achievements, I would say that this is a thing that you could skip, unfortunately.
I'm just laughing because you said if you're a casual fan, and all I could think of is, yeah, you filthy Bratz casual.
Monster High's better.
Anyway, that is it for this episode. We made it through. Aki, continue to not talk because we got to keep it clean to the end.
Good job, Aki.
Yay. Jacob and Aki, thank you so much for being here, hanging out, chatting about everything.
Yep.
Thanks to Tim for coming on and doing his thing with the Sony talk and all that fun stuff. Thanks to Coltrane for sitting on my lap. And music this episode, I was going to play something magical and with a wizard, but we don't have anything from Harry Potter, so I'm going to play something from Wizard of Legend.
That makes sense.
Yeah, from our good friend Dale North. Does anyone have any final words to end the show?
My phone's almost dead.
Good.
Maybe.